came together in a very unusual way. And again, I think one of the unique things about your father's vision is that he was not brought up watching media. And I think it's one of the reasons he is such an original and was such a free thinker and not a slave to the tools of cinema at the time. So give us a kind of a snapshot of what that was like. You were there when this burgeoning career was kind of taking shape.
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing about my dad, and it's an honor to be here with you guys. I'm a fan of everyone's work here, and you know, just here to represent the family, and I appreciate everyone coming here tonight. I mean, I think the thing about Wes that's ironic is that he never set out to become a horror filmmaker. I think he wanted to be a novelist. He was then a humanities professor. He had a master's in humanities. He was a humanities professor, and then he caught the bug. Like, so he was supervising some students making a film, and then he, caught the bug. And we were living upstate New York. He was like, going to Manhattan. And the first opportunity he got was to make Last House. And after he made Last House, as I was telling these guys beforehand, as you know from his career trajectory, he wasn't hired to make another movie for 5 years, or 3 years rather. It wasn't like people were beating down his door. He was a little bit of a pariah, and that was definitely an outsider film at the time. And then, it's not like Hills Have Eyes, turned him into a huge Hollywood director either. I mean, Wes was really an independent filmmaker for most of his career, in every sense of the word. They had to piece together financing for every one of those early films, and he kept saying, like, hey, I'm gonna make, don't worry, son, I'm gonna make a comedy one of these days. And I said, I don't care about comedy, like, do what you do, man, this is great, I was enjoying the ride. But he wasn't, he struggled with it because he was, classically educated. Like, he drew from, Bergman and from classical mythology and,
How did he piece together Last House? So that's really a fascinating story, if you want to.
Well, I can't say that I know exactly how, but I do know that, he was asked to make a crazy exploitation film because there was a market for it, and I know that the chassis for the vehicle was Virgin Spring, and then I think they had this this idea to add in elements, some of which didn't even make it into the original film. I think, as some of you know, there's a lot of stuff that was taken out that didn't make it. Crazy sexual torture and stuff like that, but they were going for that, and I think he would say that he drew from what was going on at the time. He drew from the horrors of Vietnam, which was the first televised war, or widely televised war, and it was a reflection of what he saw going on in the world, and he, had his own demons, so he imbued all, Last House with all of that, and, I think he wrote it in 2 days or something like that. He wrote it over the weekend, and they made it. So, does that answer your question?
I was sort of hinting at where the money kind of came from.
Where the money came from? Oh, right. Sean Cunningham said that the story is that Sean Cunningham said, I have $90,000 to make a movie. Let's keep 10 apiece and make it for 70. I got these guys from Boston who want a movie, and I later heard that they were mob adjacent in some way, shape, or form. So, but that's, whether that's absolutely true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. But, I'll be, they'll take a hit out of me tonight in a way.
Tom, do you remember the first movie you saw of Wes's?
Last House on the Left, when I was at UCLA, and I don't think I've watched it since. One of the more disturbing movies, but without, if you think about it, this is what made it so interesting. Last House on the Left is like a documentary. Is that the beginning of found footage? I don't know. But what was so disturbing about it was shot like it was real. And it was also long takes. So you couldn't take your eye away from it. And it's horrifying, very disturbing. Then what he did is he did Hills Have Eyes. These are the ones I remember. And Hills Have Eyes opened up, the new level of gore. I don't know, whatever but it's the Psycho family gone crazy. Then you had a huge change, reinvention with Nightmare, which was really commercial and a huge amount of fun. And yes, the blood coming out of the bed was one of the stronger visual things I ever saw. Because I mean that film really blew me away. And then he turned around and reinvented himself with Scream. And if you, I mean, his career had a lot of ups and downs, like all of us do. But I mean, he'd had a very, very bad run prior to Scream. So I mean, but he didn't stop working. But every one of those is visually and tonally different. I mean, he's not doing the same thing.
But they're all great stories. It's not necessarily masturbating with a camera.
No.
Cinema is. But he was a storyteller who used the tools of cinema in the most precise and concise way to put it across, and yet go deep inside using surrealism to supplant the realism.
Well, it goes from docu-reality, with Last House, to surrealism with Nightmare. But what I could never put together was, and to his son, he was one of the nicest men I ever met. I mean, he was really kind, sweet, professorial, but just a lovely guy.
But don't you find that to be the case with a lot of the genre people? Because, a lot of us do tend to live in a creative gutter as far as the rest of the city is concerned. The business. We are the gutter snipes. And I also think that the fans, as well as the creators, were not the people who were popular in high school and were homecoming king or queen, but were the outcasts and felt like the outsider. Wouldn't you say that's something that brought us together, Jack?
Yeah, there's as you said, there's a real sense of family and a real lack of competition, which would surprise, I think, a lot of people in Hollywood, over the filmmakers, and I think that even extends to the fans. As Joe said, there's a lot of filmmakers in the house tonight too, so we can kind of share all that. But there's something unique about the genre. There's something unique about daring to face your nightmares, and especially about daring to make these movies as Wes did. It's bold, and as Ty said, you have no rules. You get to film what you want to. You film what's in your heart. And with wonderful people like Robert Englund to work with, by the way, who is a great, brilliant actor, you can take it to the limit. We really got a great opportunity to work with.
It's also worth noticing, I was going to bring into this, is something about being psychically naked and making really deep genre horror films, because you're talking about shared Freudian id stuff rather than the external high school type thing. And Ty, your work seems to be very much in line.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because you're on where you can't. It's like hearing your voice on tape. Like you just all sound stupid. I don't know. One thing when I'm talking about what you're saying is that it is worth noting that, and this is a credit to Robert Englund, but not so much Robert Englund, but Freddy Krueger became a giant celebrity, and that's not a real person. So it's like when Jack Sparrow becomes a celebrity, it's still Johnny Depp. It's still they was in tandem. Freddy Krueger was like a rock star, and it's not real. He's just they made him up for the movie, and that's so rare that happens. I don't even know how you would do that. That's a really amazing thing that caught on, and he was he was on TV in commercials and stuff.
He was on MTV.
Yeah.
He was doing Headbangers Ball and stuff.
Yeah, it was wild. It's not real.
That's my kind of slasher. Yeah.
And so I was thinking how rare there's a movie where the character from the movie, not so much the actor, but the character, is now part of pop culture on such a massive scale. I'm still wearing a t-shirt, half this place is wearing t-shirts with Freddy Krueger. I've seen so many Freddy Krueger toys around here. he's not the actor, that's the character. That's an amazing achievement. But you know, as far as the surrealism and sort of you know, all that, I don't know, I think that's what makes the films original, and that's what makes them feel different. And what you're saying about the stuff that, like the gutter and things like that. Certainly now horror is really popular, so it feels a little bit less like the gutter than it used to. But I think probably when, you know, everyone was so similar age-ish in here, most of us came out when horror was like one step above porn. Now horror is like a really great way to make like a lot of money and be like really like commercially successful. But for a long time, all of our favorite stuff was this last house in particular. As you were saying, it was like, ooh, they look like was in trouble for making that movie. And that's kind of like punk rock exciting, and that's sort of like artistically challenging. That's the stuff. That's why I go to the movies, is to see stuff that like, you know, it's like something to talk about, something to feel about. It's not just like a corporate thing. And I think that his movies are really great. Like you were saying, Tom, that every movie is different, which is like that means he was challenging himself as an artist. Which a lot of people won't say success don't do that because it's a lot harder to do that. And that speaks a lot to him as a filmmaker, and I didn't know him personally, really. I met him once, and he was very nice. But just as a filmmaker and an artist, to know that he was constantly trying to reinvent himself. There's a lot easier ways to do this. This was a really sort of, at many times, traumatic and unpleasant industry, and to basically throw away the thing that's, you could ride the wave on and go, nah, we'll do something different. It's very ballsy, and that's like, I have a tremendous amount of respect for that.
Well, I think the bravery of his work is one of the hallmarks of it, because it, you know, it was very unfiltered, particularly starting off with Last House on the Left. Anyway, we're going to watch Nightmare. Grant, how are we time-wise? Couple minutes, okay. Well.
So when I was 16, I first got my license, and so the first thing I did when I got my license was go see a movie. And it's like, it's kind of, and I drove at night, which by the way, when you first started driving in the day, and I got this, when you drive alone at night, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so you can be driving on these like roads, and you're like, oh shit, what have I done? But so the first thing I did was go to this like really crap movie theater to see this movie Scream. I didn't know anything about it. I knew it was Wes Craven. I wasn't like a die-hard, like I wasn't like literate on directors at that point, but I didn't know that it was a guy who didn't know Wes Craven. And that movie hit in such a weird zeitgeist thing where like horror was really unpopular before that. So when I was like 14 or 15, there weren't really that many. Like, I was still watching horror movies I watched when I was 10 years old because those were still so much better, or really the only ones that existed. Because in the early 90s, it was like pretty grim on what was there for horror. And so we went to this movie Scream, didn't know anything about it, and it was like so awesome. Like it was like I was 16, I drove myself and my friend Matt Irwin, and we went and we watched this movie, and it like blew our minds. And it's this very sort of like 90s kind of like postmodern thing, which I didn't understand at the time. But like I just was like, whoa, this is like all the movies that I like, and where have these movies been? And it's sort of funny also. And I remember going and seeing it 3 times in the movie theater, and it was just such a weird, like, you know that feeling when you first get your license where it's like you're this like freedom thing, and then you don't really know what to do with it. And I went to see the movie, and then the first movie I saw was like so exciting and inspiring. So I always really remember that as like one of those hallmarks that you know where you were when you saw a movie. Well, when I saw Scream, I was the day I got my license. And it was really like, that was another one of the profound experiences that I had where it's like, I'll always remember that.
Well, I think, you know, we're all here because we're paying homage to somebody who was a great man and a great filmmaker, and somebody who had an original vision, which is incredibly difficult to do, and to sustain it over a 40-year career is just remarkable. And look, every seat is taken in this place, and it's a tribute to Wes, and we're all here because we love him and his work, and we're just really honored to be a part of this. So thank you so much. We'll be talking with Robert Englund.